a sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me.
Welcome to my Zoom room, everyone. And welcome to my friend Jessica Stephenson, who's been on the show before. Now, she's here for a very, very particular reason. I just want to start off that one of the things that she and I have in common, we're both had been victimized by...
we are both survivors of childhood sexual abuse.
And one thing I want to just start off by saying, for me personally, I don't have a lot of memories of it. I think it stopped when I was 9, but I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. It left me feeling dirty, guilty, and ashamed, like somehow I committed the crime. But I was lucky because I talked to my sisters, and nobody's ever said to me, Nancy, don't talk about it. Anyway, so that's how I just wanted to start off so that you can understand why we connect very strongly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you are suffering from
PTSD. So I was sexually abused until I was 14, and I can't close my eyes without thinking he's coming for me every night.
And people sometimes say, oh, it's in the past, get over it, but nobody has a right to talk to anybody.
You cannot say it's in the past. PTSD, just like war veterans, it doesn't go away. They're battling that every night. And so for me, my doctor is just, he feels like, I think that a service dog would really help you, because there's PTSD service dogs out there. Like right now, I've run into a real headache because everyone thinks I need an emotional support dog. No, I don't. Everyone thinks I need a therapeutic dog. No, I don't. I need a certified PTSD service dog. They are out there, and they are trained by BC Alberta Guide Dogs. They are trained by every guide dog service in Canada, but all of their PTSD dogs are strictly held for first responders or veterans. So anyone with civilian PTSD just gets thrown away. You don't matter. We're not here to help you.
You fall through the cracks,
basically. So to get a dog that is trained and certified for PTSD, it is a $38,000 cost. I had found a company in Victoria on Vancouver Island in their VIK9, and he had a 3-year-old dog trained and ready to go. Like, I just need your doctor. I just need your paperwork filled out, like all this, and $27,000. Okay, I've got all that except for money. So it's, I just constantly coming up to closed doors, and it's really hard for someone who struggles with mental health. This is, again, where we're in a country where mental health is not a priority. It's not a priority. There's so many things out there right now saying, oh yeah, mental health, but when, where? I never see anything. And it's like, okay, where do I slip through the cracks?
And one of the things, sorry to interject, one of the things with having mental health is because you can't see it. That's a lot of the issue.
So that's where so many people are like, well, you can just get a letter from this company and then you have your dog. Like, it's no problem. Well, no, because my landlord has said no to a puppy in training.
Like, why? What does it do to your landlord to say no?
Because there are, well, they can't say no, for one, because it's a major thing against human rights.
Yeah.
But this is a long process now to go through human rights. I've tried to reach out to a lawyer. I'm waiting to hear back from them. It's been a week already. So I've reached out to our MLA, and they basically got back to me because they reached out to the ministry, and because I'm not on social assistance, they can't help me. Well, oh my God, I'm so sorry that I worked a job and went off on disability, and I'm now on CPP disability and Great West Life or Canada Life or whatever. Like, how dare me be responsible? How dare me not be a drug addict and get off and live on the streets? I'm trying to survive here. I'm trying to be a good mom. I'm trying to be a wife. And that is like the hardest thing to do. So when I have to go out and get groceries and I have to sit in my car for a while till I can get totally grounded before I can even go in to go get groceries, because oh my God, if somebody happens to see me or come up to me or anything, it's not fun. And then I have to deal with the effects of the stress of that. So then it seizes up my body, it gives me migraines, it's just a constant fall. And when you go through training for a service dog, the test that you have to go through, like you have to yourself be trained as well as the dog. And then you have to be trained with the dog. And your training, like your testing, you have to go out to like a mall and stand in 4-way intersections and have people all around you and be able to control your dog. And I'm like, I don't go to the mall. Like, I don't go to these places because they're not good places for me. Like, it takes a lot for me to get anywhere. So with my doctor suggesting a service dog, it was like light bulb goes off, like, oh my God, you're brilliant. Because so service dogs are trained to help blind people, deaf people, autistic people, and PTSD people. But every time I reach out to someone, they assume I need an emotional support dog. I currently have a Boston Terrier. My Boston Terrier is wonderful. She is our son's dog. So she sleeps with him. So I don't have anything there to help wake me from my nightmares, to help get me back to sleep, to ground me again. A service dog would do that. And just
that dog,
the Boston Terrier, she's got a lot of anxiety too, right? So trying to go in the car or whatever, she's nuts, right? So I feed off that energy. It's not good energy, and she'll feed off of my energy. A service dog cannot feed on your energy. They have to stop you. So a service dog also can stop my OCD stuff. Like I have wounds and scars. That's my self-harm, I guess you would call. Some people cut their wrists and stuff. Well, mine you can't see. It's covered. Everything comes out in different ways. And so when your family wants you to stop sharing your story, they want you to put it in the past, to just shut up already. I don't know how to shut up because I freaking hurt so much from shutting up for so long.
When I started talking about it, I kept talking about it, kept talking about it.
Keep going.
Absolutely. Nobody has a right to tell you to shut up. Sorry, I know they're your family.
No, they're not my family anymore. They've disowned me. Like, they dropped me off. Like, no, they blocked me. But because one has cancer, I'm supposed to go and suck up and help her? No, I'm sorry.
Well, and what does it, like, I know that in my family, when we were really young, we wanted to make sure our oldest brother didn't know. We wanted to protect him from knowing, which is really strange when you think about it, And the last time we saw him, he asked us some of the things, and we told him.
It's hard for them to believe that, because
he wasn't like this. He wasn't like that. He's been the most wonderful brother ever. Okay,
that's awesome.
But we told him, but I said to him, we wanted to protect you. We would, and it's almost because he's our half sibling. Okay. My father was married, had him and my older sister, and we almost feel like we didn't want him to know that his dad, as if it wasn't our dad, that his dad was like that, So but he was wonderful. Like I said, you need that support. Families, you have to understand how important it is. When you protect other family members, say, from hearing about it, you also protect the perpetrator.
So for like the community that I can't go back to, like, they've all supported him since he came out of jail. They allowed him to continue working in the community. They continued supporting him. Because he went to church, because like whatever, right? Like when you support him, you don't support me. So I've just started like, okay, family members who don't support me or anything, I can't continue to keep trying and wishing to have a relationship with you, because it's constantly hurting me. I have cousins in town here, but nobody reaches out. Nobody, so I can't be the only one who does. So it's like, no, enough is enough. And I have found some amazing friends, a good support system now. I've started doing little things like volunteering, and it's just starting to try to get me out doing more things, trying to get socializing. It's still, again, it takes a lot. And then, of course, after visiting for about an hour or so, then I'm exhausted and I'm done for a few days. So damned if you do and damned if you don't, but
I can relate to some of it. I'm obviously not at that same level as you, but I can relate to some of it, and it's kind of interesting. But what I want to get to, though, which we haven't yet, is you started a GoFundMe.
oh yes,
Right, and this is what is so important today to talk about. It's a GoFundMe. So people who are in like nobody I know has that kind of money to just say here, I'd be happy to help you. But if you could help, look, where is it? How could people get in touch? How could they donate?
So I have a GoFundMe link. I wouldn't even know, honestly. I have my link tree. It's on my link tree. So linktree/Jessalyn Yoga. You can go to my Facebook page. It's linked to my Facebook page, to my Shimmer Jessalyn Yoga Instagram page. I'll share it with you, and then we can tag it in here.
Well, because I'm hoping to get this aired tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
so I started a GoFundMe because I reached out and asked, like, how can one go about doing this? So I've reached out to governments, I've reached out to victims' assistance, I'm trying to contact a lawyer, like, can I sue my dad? Like, are there ways that I can go about doing things? But I have over 600 friends on Facebook. If everyone just gave like $20, like, think of how far that would get me. I have the dog that was ready for me for $27,000. It has to go to another person. So I've lowered my GoFundMe to 15,000 because I don't know, like, are people not donating because it's such a huge amount and they don't believe I can do it? I don't know what it is, but if I go the professional route, it's going to be $38,000 to get a trained dog.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to go about that.
Right.
So yes, I created a GoFundMe. I am trying to share it. I've started painting my pots. I paint little pictures.
Trying to sell that.
Trying to create things to sell.
Yeah, and I just want to say, when we're finished this, we're going to meet up on Zoom with a couple of my US friends who want to do a fundraiser for her. They've never met her, so they're going to meet her after this, right? And we're going to see how that works. So that's another thing I had suggested thinking of suggesting is start a fundraiser.
Yeah.
If like, I'm gonna have a reason why I want just to come here today is I do all these paintings. I'm just a beginner, but I was gonna say, look at a painting. If you think you can take one of those and auction it off, give it some hype, like, hey, €70 painting by €70 or something like that. If that helps, great. Then come back and get another one, do it again,
Yeah.
So even that way, right? It costs me nothing in a way for you to take one of these, right? And for my friends on that you're going to meet, Daniel and Kathy, Zota, oh my God, sorry, Stowen, sorry about that. They're the ones who are gonna help, and we'll talk about them more. But again, the stuff people can do if you're willing to help. You have to understand, like I said, I wanted to start off about how I was affected by my sexual abuse, okay? Why was I feeling guilty? I was a child, for crying out loud, with an adult predator. And they're so good at what they do.
The shame comes in so many different forms.
Yes.
Too. Like, I'm very impulsive, so I shop.
Okay.
Like, I'm an impulsive spender, so I'm not able to have like credit or anything like that, because as soon as I have it, I spend it.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, I get myself into trouble that way. It's spending money I don't have. And so my husband's like, okay, we got this account locked up for this and this account locked up for this. Like, I have no access to my
and that has to be done for you. Yeah.
It's just another part of that mental health thing, right? Like, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. So a lot of that is a lot of emotional deregulation. I trigger and I literally dissociate and not. It's so there's so many things, and this dog can help with so many of those things. So it's like, you feel like you can never get better, but then, oh my gosh, what could this actually do to help me? Like, just to make the days easier.
Absolutely. Yeah,
so nice.
absolutely. You'll never, I don't think we ever get over what happened to us. And like the person that did to me is now dead and gone. He went to jail for 3.5 years, something like that. smack.
3 months. He got a 6-month sentence. My gosh, 6-month sentence. He served 3 months, and it was a minimum security. He did woodwork. Which he does naturally anyway. So it was like going away to a freaking little Bible camp. And I'm sorry, he still shows no remorse for what he's done. And now he apparently has dementia. So he's never going to show me remorse. He's never going to really, truly be sorry. So
it's because it wasn't his fault. Even when he was thinking before dementia, you know, I remember it brought up so many things too with you coming here today. Like I can remember when I was really young, trying to act as boyish as I could, so I wouldn't be a victim. I went through a period where I wasn't having baths or showers, so I wouldn't be attracted to a male, you know.
My older sister, she would always eat to make herself overweight. Well,
exactly.
Then the rest of her life, she struggles with a lap band surgery and a bypass surgery, and now she's got kidney cancer. So, you know, I have been fortunate with my metabolism because I eat a lot. I have a lot of bad
I know
habits because of it. Like I would always wear baggy clothes through the 90s. Overalls. Oh my gosh, when I see girls in overalls now, it's like, seriously, I'm back in the 90s. Like I want your overall.
And I had long, people used to, I grew up in the 60s, so people thought I was a hippie. I had long hair that would be all like down here, right? You know, and the big baggy sweaters. And like really people, when people told me afterwards, they thought I was a hippie. I was so shocked, you know, because I was the least hippiest person that I knew.
No, right? I love the baggy clothes. I love being able to hide the body, but I was always I hid a lot of me, right? I would be very outgoing, very flirtatious, very loud. Always, like people would say, always wants to be the attention of the party.
But that's a different side to us, right?
It really is. Like honestly, like I went yesterday, I was out with my son, and being out and about, trying to be okay with him, I tend to get anxious and then hyper. So by the time we were finishing our day, it was like 1:30. We went to the Owl and Cat Bookery to pick up a book, and I was loud and da 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 da. And then I get out of there, and then I'm ashamed.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm like on a manic freaking high, and I'm an idiot. Like, oh my God. And I almost want to send her a message and apologize. Like, you had clients in your store, and I was so loud. And I'm reading a book about me and white supremacy. So that's a very powerful stuff. So I was very passionate and very loud. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope I didn't bug anyone in there.
I used to feel ashamed when I shared my story afterwards. Why did I tell that?
Why did I say anything? I share too much. I talk too much. Yes.
And I feel I'm like that. And I consider myself now, I realize that I'm an introverted extrovert.
Yes.
When I'm by myself, I don't want to be out there, right? You know, I don't talk to people. If people talk to me, I'm fine. But I don't approach.
No.
Very rarely approach people.
I was told I'm an introverted extrovert. I married an extrovert, and our child is an introverted extroverted introvert. He's so quiet, but then he'll have his moments, but then he's so quiet. Like it's hard to say. But my husband is very, and then COVID has shut him down even more. So it's like he needs a service dog, for crying out loud.
And I'm thinking COVID was the perfect time for me because I didn't have to go out.
Well, no, we loved it. We loved being home, but now it's you need to get out of that. You have to start getting out. Well, none of us want to go out.
Anyway, we're up to that. Well, when Jessica and I get together, like our conversations go all over the place. But listen, I'm going to share the link for her GoFundMe. So I really do hope you can help. And
if you can find any legal laws that can help me get around my landlord and the puppy in service, because somehow there's a glitch in our government system where it kind of misses the puppy and training part when it comes down to where we live. And puppy and training is welcome in stores and everywhere else, but then in the rental place, it disappears.
But why? What I don't understand on your landlord's behalf, what Does it give them to not allow
because
that?
puppies are puppies and they'll end up peeing on the carpet or whatever. We had people who lived a couple units down. It's a brand new townhouse. We were the first people living in there.
Oh, okay.
People further down had a puppy and they had carpet cleaners in there every week. Well, I'm sorry, when I have a puppy, I have an alarm clock and I set it every 20 minutes, you're going outside with that dog.
And now you
because you need to train it to go outside.
And now you also have those doggy diaper things. That
you can have those too, but
I
don't ever, I've never used them. Like when we had Patches a puppy, when we had Oreos a puppy, we didn't use those because I didn't want to train them that it was okay to go inside at all. We are going out every 20 minutes and that helped.
Right.
And with a service dog training that, I have to have a thing attached from me to the dog. So I am with that puppy all the time. Right. So yeah.
Anyway,
my landlord needs to get a life.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for human rights.
Okay, so now, if you can think of a way to help Jessica where you're not maybe putting out the finance if you don't have them, nobody's always saying you should be doing this, but it's not like that, right? It's not like that. But we need to help our fellow human being. It's as simple as that. We need to help people. And any way you can do it, if you come up with an idea, contact Jessica, and she's going to be grateful, and maybe she'll give you a fee. She does that anyway, by the way. So thank you, everybody. I really hope that you can help and or come up with some really brilliant ideas for her, and take care of everybody. And if you have something like this you want to share, like, hey, contact me.
Yes,
I'm happy.
Come and chit chat.
Talk to you later, people. Peace out.
Bye.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's a place to be, you'll see.